Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're acting as your ultimate Windows 11 diagnostic compliance guide, diving deep into the intricate and sometimes murky world of workstation privacy. We're going to uncover what your Windows 11 device is actually sending to Microsoft behind the scenes, and more importantly, how you can take absolute control over it. If you're managing a massive fleet of devices, handling highly sensitive corporate data, or even if you're just a focused learner who wants to thoroughly understand the hidden mechanics of OS data collection, you are in exactly the right place.
Here is our roadmap for today. 1. The Windows telemetry heartbeat. 2. Required versus optional data. 3. Auditing your diagnostic data. 4. Enforcing telemetry compliance. 5. The Enterprise Edition Advantage. And 6. Hardening workstation security. Let's jump right in.
Section 1. The Windows telemetry heartbeat. Understanding the flow of diagnostic data.
So, let's stop and really think about this for a second. Do you actually know what diagnostic data is quietly leaving your workstations right now? Like at this very moment? It's incredibly easy to unbox a new machine, image it, connect it to the network, and just never think twice about the invisible data streams chugging along in the background. But in the world of strict data compliance, ignorance definitely isn't bliss. It is a massive vulnerability. When auditors come knocking to check your GDPR or HIPAA compliance, just saying, I think it's secure, simply isn't an acceptable answer.
This constant background chatter, that is Windows telemetry. By definition, it's the automatic collection of diagnostic data, error reports, and system state information. Microsoft uses a colossal sample size of this data to proactively develop security improvements, patch bugs, and ensure the overall health of the operating system. And honestly, it's brilliantly designed for proactive maintenance. However, for compliance professionals, network admins, and privacy advocates, this unregulated continuous data sharing presents a severe visibility challenge. If data is leaving your network, you absolutely need to know exactly what it is.
Moving to Section 2. Required versus optional data. The two tiers of diagnostic collection.
To manage this challenge, we first have to understand that Windows doesn't treat all diagnostic data equally. There is a critical distinction between what you choose to share and what Windows natively demands. You might have gone into your privacy settings, flipped a toggle to off, and felt like a cybersecurity ninja who just locked down their machine. But here is the reality check. That standard Settings app toggle often acts a bit like a placebo. It generally only disables the optional data, things like inking improvements or tailored ad experiences. Meanwhile, it leaves a massive, constant flow of required diagnostics still actively phoning home to Microsoft servers.
Let's look closer at what that required data actually entails. We're talking about everything from basic boot events and driver installations to highly specific diagnostic checks like UEFI configurations, BitLocker encryption statuses, and appraiser events. An appraiser event, for example, is essentially just Windows continuously taking inventory of your machine to check if your hardware can handle the next feature update. Sure, this data ensures the OS functions properly, but it also means your PC is never truly silent by default. It's always maintaining that diagnostic heartbeat.
Section 3. Auditing your diagnostic data. Looking at the evidence.
So how do we know exactly what is in that heartbeat? Well, before we start modifying registry keys, we need to examine the evidence, just like a detective. Microsoft actually provides a fantastic tool for this. The Diagnostic Data Viewer is a built-in transparency application you can grab right from the Microsoft Store. It lets you physically see every single byte of data being transmitted in raw JSON format. Why does raw JSON matter? Because you're seeing the unfiltered truth of exactly what Microsoft servers are receiving, with zero marketing spin. You can filter events by category, review Windows error reporting logs, and thoroughly audit your shared data, all without relying on sketchy third-party privacy utilities.
Now, if you're like me and prefer avoiding graphical interfaces, you've got a native superpower waiting in PowerShell. IT admins can totally streamline this audit process using the Get Diagnostic Data command. This lets you pull those exact same event objects natively right into the command line interface. It breaks down the event name, the precise timestamp, whether it's classified as required data, and dumps the detailed JSON payload for easy parsing or exporting into your own compliance reports. Pretty neat, right?
All right, Section 4. Enforcing telemetry compliance. Locking down data collection.
Once you've audited the data and seen exactly what's leaving your machine, the next logical step is taking control. How do we actually lock this down across an entire enterprise network, securely and permanently? Enforcing this requires a machine-wide registry edit, bypassing those basic graphical settings we talked about to firmly dictate the telemetry policy right at boot time. First and foremost, though, always export a backup of your registry. We all know a bad edit can turn a high-end workstation into a very expensive paperweight. Next, you navigate to the data collection policy path under HKey Local Machine. There, you create or edit a 32-bit D-word value named Allow Telemetry. Set its value to 0 and restart the PC. Because this sits in the local machine key, it applies to the whole system entirely, overriding any individual user's attempt to mess with it.
Just a quick reassuring note on the user experience here. If you or your users see the telemetry toggle in the standard Windows settings app suddenly grayed out after doing this edit, do not panic. It is supposed to look like that. It simply means your registry policy has successfully taken precedence over user preferences. Windows recognizes the administrative override and literally locks the interface accordingly.
Section 5. The Enterprise Advantage. The nuanced reality of telemetry control.
But wait, here is the massive plot twist regarding that registry edit we just performed, and it's a detail many organizations completely miss. There is a huge misconception in the IT world about what setting that telemetry value to 0 actually accomplishes. A ton of online privacy guides completely blur the lines here, leading people to believe that a 0 value equals total absolute silence. Let me be clear, that is simply not the case for everyone. There is a world of difference between reducing telemetry and genuinely turning it off.
The reality comes down entirely to your specific operating system edition. On Windows 11 Home and Pro editions, setting the Allow Telemetry value to 0 merely sets a floor for required data. It reduces the chatter as much as structurally possible, but those essential diagnostics, the boot events, the driver installs, the appraiser checks, they still flow to Microsoft. However, Enterprise and Education editions have the exclusive, hard-coded capability to actually honor that 0 value by shutting data flow off completely. For them, 0 literally means 0. This gives enterprise administrators the ultimate granular leverage over data collection.
Finally, Section 6. Hardening workstation security. Building a broader defense.
Managing telemetry is really just one piece of the puzzle. Let's see how this builds into a much broader, comprehensive strategy. The Australian Cybersecurity Centre, or ACSC, produces highly respected guidelines for hardening workstations against malicious actors. We reference them because they are widely considered a global gold standard for practical threat mitigation. They strictly recommend utilizing Enterprise and Education editions of Windows 11 specifically because of this deeper configuration control we just discussed. When you're trying to mitigate advanced threats from malicious websites or emails, having an OS that allows for total lockdown isn't just nice to have, it is absolutely foundational.
Beyond just managing diagnostic telemetry, true workstation compliance involves establishing non-negotiable pillars of defense. The ACSC outlines implementing strict group policies to automate and force operating system updates, ensuring you are never vulnerable to known, patchable exploits. Furthermore, they stress the absolute necessity of segregating privileged administrative accounts from day-to-day standard usage to prevent catastrophic malicious code execution. And fundamentally, enforcing secure boot is required to verify that your bootloader matches a Microsoft-signed certificate, which stops stealthy rootkits dead in their tracks before the OS even wakes up.
And we cannot talk about hardening without hitting on access control. To further protect against malicious actors brute-forcing passwords and extracting sensitive information, the ASCS insists that hardware-based multi-factor authentication is critical. Notice the emphasis on hardware-based. We're talking physical security keys here, which are vastly superior and far more phishing-resistant than relying on a simple text message code that can easily be intercepted. This level of security is mandatory for any privileged user interacting with sensitive data repositories on the network.
So, we've unraveled the telemetry mystery today, mapped out the specific registry policies, and looked at high-level hardening strategies. But I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought to take back to your own network. Does your current configuration actually align with your strict compliance mandates, or are you just blindly trusting the default settings? Take the time to audit your fleet, verify those data streams, and ensure your compliance is a rock-solid reality, not just a hopeful assumption. Use this Windows 11 Diagnostic Compliance Guide as your starting point. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I will catch you on the next deep dive.